Well, hello, Ms. Giles. I hope you had enough time to review the script that I made from your observation from that lesson you taught.
Yes, I did.
Awesome. Do you have any questions before we begin?
No.
All right. I'd like to begin by saying that it was the lesson. I want your opinion on how would you reflect on the lesson and how do you think it went?
I think it went real well. It was a review because we were having problems with it, and everything seemed to go good, and they seemed to be doing a lot better, so I was really happy with it.
Okay. So what did you see the students doing? I'm sorry. What did you observe from the students and that made you feel that way?
They were excited because they were getting things right. They were eager to answer, and they were being successful, which they weren't doing before.
Okay. When you say before, what were the students struggling with?
The problem solving that we were working on today, when we looked at our data that we had from our practice STAR test, I had like a lot of them that were not doing well, and so I decided to reteach it and break it down more, and that's why it was from before like that.
Okay. What do you recall about your own behavior during the lesson? As far as when the students B7, G10, I'm sorry, no, B7, B11, and G17 were a little bit upset.
Well, they were not paying attention. That's why they didn't get what was going on. So I just redirected them and reviewed what we had talked about really quick and got their attention back, and then they were doing a lot better.
I saw that. You directed that, and students were engaged again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How did your observation compare what you have planned?
I think it went pretty well, and I had to redirect, like I said, some, but everything seemed to go well, but it was a lot better than the first time. They were having more success, so I liked that part. I was hoping they'd have more success, but actually I think I had more success than I thought I was going to have, so that was good.
Okay. As you reflect on the goals for this lesson, what can you say about your students' achievement of them?
Well, I had the goal that they would be able to pick out a lot of the words that would help them and do things. That it was, and that they could identify what operation we were doing, because they were having a hard time on the test. That was all mixed up on the prior lesson, and when we tested them, when they should have been subtracting, they were adding, and so I needed to fix that part. So that's why I had to do this lesson again today.
Okay. Were you aware of that students were doing that significant? But were you aware of students who were doing that signal you to change the format of the lesson? What?
Because when I taught it before, I thought we had a good job. Everyone was participating and everything was well. But when we actually tested it, when they had to do it on their own without any help from anyone, 75% of them did not get it. So I knew I had to go back and do it because it was way too high. And so I had to just take a different approach and have them show their work too, because that's a lot of problems too. They weren't showing their work, and they also just weren't getting which operation to do.
Okay. So what did you do to produce the results you obtained, the results you were at now after you had done the lesson when they were doing their independent practice? What differences?
Well, I had gone and asked other peers about things that would help them, and I used that to try to bring in different strategies to help them. And as they were doing it independently, I was walking around to make sure how they were doing, and I was giving them a little, as I was going around, I would give them hints of what they might be looking for to kind of redirect them if I saw they were going the wrong way, and I just kind of would try to redirect them, and I only had to do it a couple times, and then they started getting it. So.
Okay. What personal learnings did you gain from this experience?
That whenever I teach this lesson again next year, that I will go more in depth like this to help them identify I don't think I went enough in depth the first time. That's why this was more successful. So next year, I'll go into more in depth and take longer the first time, so maybe we won't have to do this again. So it'll help them.
And I guess the next question, it's just a piggyback of that. As you plan for future lessons, what insights have you developed that might be carried forth to the next lesson or lessons?
The more in depth, because I don't think we went enough in depth. Because as we were talking as a team, we talked about one way to do it, and it worked with some classes, but it didn't work with mine. So I think that the going more in depth was a lot better because it's more detailed and just give them more clues of what to look for, because they have no idea what to look for. And I'll do that next time.
Right. And as you think back over our conversations, what has the coaching sessions done for you as far as with your team?
With my team or with you?
With the team, and then what we talked about.
Okay, with my team, it's helped because we go and we talk about what we're struggling in, and we give each other ideas. And so when I get other ideas and I try them, that helps me because it was my first year in third grade, as you know. And so I'm trying to find as many strategies that I can do to help the kids, and the coaching helps me with that because it's making me more familiar with it. And then when we talked, you gave me a few more ideas that helped me to decide what I should do next time, maybe, and stuff like that.
So, one last thing that I wanted to mention is about how you had structured your layout of the students in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a specific or reason why you have them in the way you do?
Yes, because the ones that you were talking about, B7, B11, and G17, are ones that have a lot of time they're off task. So they're up there by me, so I can redirect them very quickly, and not have, as I'm at the board, I don't have to go all the way to them and redirect them. I can just turn around and be right there.
Awesome. And
the ones that are further back, I don't have to redirect as much. Their attention's there usually.
Okay. And to close off the what we talked about in the lesson you taught, that I observed. Anything you would have added that you might think that you have left out?
For this lesson, for the review lesson?
Yes.
I think I was feeling very successful with it, and so I think I liked the way that it went off. I don't think there's a whole lot that I would change, except for, like I said, doing it the first time we were teaching it more in depth like this instead of now, so we wouldn't have to go over it again.
All right. Anything you want to add to it?
No.
To this?
No, I just think it went well, and I thank you for coming in, and I appreciate you helping me with this.
No, well, thank you. All right.
Thank you.